Before you scroll, listen. This isn't just another classic car. This is the 1976 Holden HJ GTS Monaro 308, the Aussie muscle icon that roars louder, looks tougher, and holds more history than almost anything on the road. If you love real power, real attitude, and real legends, you're going to want to see this. What's up, everyone? Subscribe to my channel because today you're about to witness a rolling legend from the Australian muscle car golden age, the 1976 Holden HJ GTS Monaro 308 V8. This isn't just a car, it's a full-blown time capsule from an era when raw power, unmistakable style, and pure driving attitude ruled the road. The HJ series marked Holden's evolution into a new breed of performance, more refined, more confident, and undeniably iconic. And the GTS Monaro was the crown jewel of that transformation. This machine wasn't built to blend in. It was built to dominate, to arrive with a stance that made people stop mid-conversation, and to remind you instantly why the Monaro name is carved into Australia's Automotive Hall of Fame. The 1976 Holden HJ Monaro GTS running the 308 cubic inch V8 was the final chapter before the HX facelift arrived, making it one of the rarer and more desirable versions today. Under the hood sits that legendary Holden-built 5.0-liter V8, an engine with a voice you don't just hear, you feel. The deep crackle, the chest-thumping rumble, the way it revs with that raw mechanical honesty. It's the sound every Aussie motoring fan can recognize from a mile away. This engine wasn't chasing perfect numbers or fancy tech. It was built for torque, for acceleration that pinned you to the seat, and for a driving experience that was both simple and unforgettable. Hit the throttle and the 308 wakes up instantly, eager, alive, always ready to pull the horizon closer with every push. And then you have the styling. The HJ GTS Monaro wore sharper, cleaner lines than its predecessors, carrying a muscular sophistication that set it apart. That bold front end with its quad headlights and unique GTS grille treatment, the aggressive striping and decals, the sporty wheels, and the unmistakable coupe roofline all worked together to create a silhouette that demanded respect. Even standing still, the Monaro looks like it's doing 60 miles per hour. The body proportions are beautifully balanced. Long hood, tight rear overhang, wide stance, and a presence that carries itself like a heavyweight champion. It isn't just a car you see, it's a car you feel. Step inside and you're greeted by a cockpit built around the driver. The GTS interior wasn't shy about showing attitude. Deep dish sports steering wheel, unique gauge cluster with the GTS dash fascia, bucket seats, vibrant trim options, and that unmistakable 70s flair. It was functional and bold at the same time. You could sit in a GTS Monaro blindfolded and still know where you were by the combination of textures, sounds, and smells. The cabin wraps around you like a glove, and the moment you twist that key and the V8 thunders to life, every bit of nostalgia crashes in at once. On the road, the 1976 HGTS Monaro didn't just move, it commanded. The 308 V8 delivered strong mid-range pull, perfect for overtaking or simply enjoying an open stretch of highway. The suspension struck a balance between sporty and comfortable, offering the kind of ride that made long cruises enjoyable while still being firm enough to handle spirited driving. The steering had weight, the brakes demanded respect, and every input felt connected, mechanical, and honest. This is a car that makes you drive. No computers, no filters, no artificial intervention, just you, the machine, and the pavement. And owning a Monaro wasn't just about transportation, it was identity. It was culture. Throughout the 70s, these cars became symbols of personal freedom, performance pride, and Aussie ingenuity. The Monaro name was already legendary from the late 60s and early 70s racing scene, and the HJ GTS carried that torch proudly. Holden didn't try to reinvent the wheel here, they perfected it. Today, finding a clean 1976 HJ GTS Monaro is like discovering buried treasure. Collectors hunt for them, restorers cherish them, and enthusiasts dream of owning one. As the years pass, these cars only become more valuable and more admired. Every surviving example represents a chapter of Australia's performance heritage that will never be repeated. The story becomes even more impressive when you consider just how few of these cars remain in true, unmodified, or well-restored condition. Many were driven hard, many were modified beyond recognition. But the ones that survive are rolling reminders of what Holden stood for: style, muscle, simplicity, and craftsmanship. That 308 engine paired with the GTS package continues to be one of the most respected combo setups in Aussie automotive history. So when you see a 1976 Holden HJ 308 GTS Monaro today, you're not just looking at a classic car, you're looking at a hero, a machine that defined its time. A factory-built statement of power and pride. A car that captured the imagination of generations and still does, every time the key turns and that V8 roars awake. This is the kind of vehicle that doesn't just get attention, it earns it. It commands it, and it deserves it. And that's why the HJ GTS Monaro remains unbeatable in spirit. It's more than a piece of metal. It's a story on wheels. A legend that continues to live every time someone fires up that 308 and lets the engine sing. If you love Australian muscle, this car is the heartbeat of the culture. And trust me, nothing compares to the feeling of seeing one in person, hearing that idol, or watching it disappear down the road with that unmistakable GTS swagger. What's up, everyone? Subscribe my channel for more legendary machines, more deep dive history, and more high performance classics like the 1976 Holden HJ 308 V8 GTS Monaro. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep the spirit of real muscle alive.